Hello everyone, this is a SIG Scheduling meeting, 11 August 2026. We have one item in our agenda, so Anthony, I think we can proceed to.
Okay, so my item for today is moving scheduler from package to staging repository. And we want to do this because while we're working on the simulation library for scheduling, for now it's importing all Kubernetes repository, if I'm not wrong, and it's not perfect because that's a big repository. And it's also discouraged to import everything to the library. So one way of solving it would be moving scheduler to staging. And to do so, we would need to make a couple of steps. First thing we would need to do is to get rid of all dependencies we have to Kubernetes repository. So we would like to propose that we would add some import restrictions and allow list imports that we already have right now for Kubernetes repository, and then one by one remove all of them, like all of the dependencies from scheduler package. And when we will be done with that, which is not so straightforward because we need to also make sure that, for example, feature flags are available in staging repository. And then we can move whole code from package scheduler to staging. And here is the question, should we move it to already existing place, which is kube scheduling, or should we create new place to move all the code? And other question is, should we move everything to one place or divide it into some other packages? Like, for example, should we have special package for plugins or some other parts of our repository? If it goes for the first question, which is if we can move it to staging kube scheduling, we checked it with Jordan Ligeti, and we already have a lot of imports in that repository. So probably that would be fine because we would not increase the dependencies that much in this place. But maybe it would be smarter to create some other place.
Yeah, so in my opinion, personal opinion, I don't think we should have two places where we store the kube scheduler code. Probably having all in one place would be enough. Like the only one use case of splitting two is when someone defines out of 3 plugins and want to avoid importing that much code, but kube scheduler won't have, I think, that many imports compared to the whole KK, right? So I think it should be fine. And we will get rid of these interfaces that we created a few releases ago that are a bit complicating the code because we need to sometimes do things around, right? And the second point, yeah, like moving the plugins to a different package, I don't think it's a good idea because we have the tests for these plugins that are not that well isolated, right? They use the framework,
yes,
and the other packages, so I don't think it will be that much beneficial to split it as well.
Okay, so probably we can assume we will move it to already existing repository and move everything there. Then there is another question: should we move it all at once or part by part? Because if we would like to move it step by step, then there is a lot of cross dependencies between framework and backend. They are mostly in unit tests because I think there's only like one or two dependencies between them which are not in the unit test, and that would be easy to skip. But moving everything at once, I would say would require probably holding merging of all PRs for like 2 or 3 days to make sure that like merging all PRs to package scheduler, right? Because we would need to, we would like to avoid rebasing this huge PR with, I don't know, every PR every day, right? So we probably would need to hold everything. But on the other hand, if we will move it part by part, then we need to make sure that everyone who is working on PR on specific area will be notified that this is moving to other place soon or soonish, and it might require some rebasing soon.
Yes, so we have two steps, right? We have step to eliminate the imports that are outside of the scheduler, and then moving the code to stage, right? So definitively, firstly we should do this import removal process.
Yeah,
and take longer, and this won't collide that much with.
Yeah, this should not collide with anything, especially if we will add this import restriction, right? Then
yes, it will be much easier. And second part, moving the code to staging. Yes, I think you should do it all at once, because if you split it into multiple PRs, it can happen that each of them could collide with other PRs, right? So I think it's better to do all at once, and it might be easier to review because we just move everything from one place to another without changing some small thing like moving part of the test or fixing something. I think it's beneficial, but at the same time, I think I already mentioned it to you. I think we should do this after the code freeze of the next release, because then we can more easily hold the PRs that are waiting to be merged.
and make sure that this is
first
PR
and
after freeze.
Hold all of the PRs and merge this as first and then revise. And I think it's better than doing it in the middle of the release cycle, where the number of PRs is much larger and much better. Yeah.
So one more important information: I asked SIG test if they are going to move K-testing to staging, and they will consider it. They are going to prepare cap for that for 138. I asked them to notify me when they have the cap, so and contribute to reviewing that. If we will need to add something there.
And because we need that to move that.
Yeah, we need K. We have some dependence on K-test in some unit test, I think.
So it might delay us, or we can find another way of testing before.
Yeah, if we would like to find another way of testing, we will probably need to duplicate the code with the testing functionality, right? So it would be way better if they were able to move the K-testing to staging, and actually one person is really eager to do that, so maybe this is going to happen.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I think that's all, right?
I have one.
Yeah.
I have one more question regarding the structure, the folder structure inside the staging repo. Should it be like the exact same as we have right now in the package scheduler? I would assume yes.
I would say at the beginning we should,
Yes, it would be much easier to move
Because
that.
while moving, I would say we should have it all at the same place, and then we can do some refactor if we will decide it's because I believe reviewing move with change of structure would be harder than just reviewing the move, because it will already be tens of thousands of lines of code.
Yeah, I agree. But if we move it as it is, then we will run into naming collisions in the staging repo. So, for example, we have node info in staging repo, which is an interface, and in framework package, framework node info, and then we have framework package and package scheduler, which also has node info, which is a struct. So we would need to ideally resolve these collisions ahead of time before the move, so that we don't pollute the move PR with these.
Yeah, probably.
Because in fact, we can remove these interfaces from staging once we move the code, right? So depends if it will be easy to remove them in the moving PR, or if we should like maintain for a short period of time the package with the interfaces aside of the package with the scheduler code. Because these interfaces won't be needed later, as we have everything in one package. They don't make sense. We created those interfaces to reduce the import hell for the plugins, but after moving the code to staging, we can use the scheduler types directly.
So the interfaces may have some use to limit certain operations that are available to plugins.
It's Golang, you can always cast the type and do any operation that you want, right?
Well, yeah, you can cast the type, but it will come up during review, right? So we can consider that, but I would do it like separately, and maybe change the naming so that we can keep it both, at least for some time. This will make it easier also to review the moving PR, because the moving PR won't be deleting stuff and like additionally renaming things. Maybe because like also some we will then have some like accessor functions which won't be really also necessary. So removing those would also be useful, and then we would have to adjust the call size.
Yeah, so the cleanup can be done later, right? So we can, as I mentioned, create a separate package in the scheduler staging for the interfaces, and then try to resolve and remove them after merging the moving to staging.
Mm-hmm.
And other questions to Antonio regarding this point in our agenda? Thank you, Antonio, for analyzing this topic. It's great to see it moving on.
So actually, one thing. So we want to create the GitHub issues for this, so that the community can start working on it. We will probably start with the allo listing of the imports, and then have tasks for each like dependency to get rid of it.
Yes, that sounds good. Antonio will create these issues, right?
Right.
Good. Right. Do we have any other topics to discuss on this SIG meeting, or shall we conclude now? If not, I want to say thank you for joining today and wish you happy Tuesday. See you on the next meeting. next week. Bye.
Yeah.
See you.